Hello, welcome to the Beyond the Questions podcast, because every great conversation starts with a question. We're having real conversations about life with life coaches, and we are anticipating another great episode. So get ready and let's get started.
Hey, everybody. We just want to welcome you back to Beyond the Questions. And I just want to be really honest before we dive into this episode. If you think at any point that the three of us have life together, you should have been here 2 minutes ago. It has been one comedy of errors after the other. We may never get Erica to stop laughing in this episode, so we'll see how it goes. But we're glad you're tuning in. I haven't been here for a while, so it's great to be back. I feel like I have missed this team. I've missed this opportunity. And for those of you who have forgotten who I am, my name is Jason. I own Jason Roten Coaching, where I help leaders lead from the inside out, looking at values and beliefs that drive their behavior. I'm going to give, before we dive into today's topic, I just want to give the other hosts a chance to introduce themselves as well. So, Erica, can you breathe? Can you talk?
I'm trying over here. It was quite humorous before we started. We know that. But humor is good. Laughter is great.
Yep, absolutely.
So yes, I'm Erica. I help women who are going through life challenges, trauma, or relationship struggles, and I create the space to be there and walk alongside them with that.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thanks for being here. It's good to see you again. Where's the snake?
Yes, you too. He's in his enclosure, safe away, growing rapidly like everybody else in this house. We can, the puppy, you guys want to guess his weighing in weight yesterday?
105.
98.
119.2.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, maybe the puppy would be distracting, but I'm just saying the snake hasn't made an appearance in a while. All right, TQ, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I am TQ of TQ Coaching Solutions. I do not have any pets at the time, and I love to help people find their dream. I believe that everybody has something to offer into this world, and often fear and self-doubt is something that gets in the way. And I want to help overcome that so you can become an action taker and move towards those goals and dreams that you have. So that's what I do. Anyway, love to spend time with you if you ever want to get through those dreams.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. And TQ, I hear if you need to borrow a pet, Erica's got a few for you, so you should be good to go. So, all right. So
it's all by choice that we don't have pets right now. Maybe just my choice, but it is all by choice.
It's a lot of responsibility.
You're the sole voice in the household.
He's a great leader.
We're just a busy people. I don't mind it. We've had dogs before, and I love that. But we're just busy. And so just don't see that being plausible right now. Yeah, maybe one day.
It's good to know your limitations. Well, in the spirit of laughter and continuing the conversation that we've been having, I just want to ask this question to start our show today. What is a completely ridiculous thing that you started doing only because somebody else talked you into doing it with?
You got it, Erica?
Yeah, this is pretty funny. So when I was in high school, it was pretty cool. I got to go to high school with both of my sisters. So my older sister, and they liked me, I'm the middle. I don't have to explain anything else. They're the best. But she didn't want to go by herself. And so I was just recovering from strep throat, and I was pretty was still sick, but not contagious. And she's like, please come with me. I don't know. She probably bribed me with something. And I told her yes. So I went to the dance. Normally I've got good energy and it's super fun. Not this time. And now still, however many, I don't know, we're talking decades later, we still joke about how I danced that night. And if I could stand up, I could do it like a squat, but it was just this is all I did the whole entire time at the dance. But then it's so funny because years later, do you remember that time that you just danced like this?
It's just your emo grunge phase. It's all right. Everybody's got a phase. You go through it. Right?
Yeah, it's like a sad Charlie Brown character dance.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You're like Sad Linus. That's what we just said.
That's awesome. But
I wouldn't have gone if she didn't ask me. I would have, been resting at home.
You did it for your sis.
I did it for my sister.
This is a new first. I don't think we've ever had dance moves on the podcast
before.
We broke new ground today.
Erica is leading the way at first. I mean, I
Man,
think majority of the first that we've had here has been because of Erica,
But there
for
you go.
sure.
There you go. I'll let her take that because two things I promise to never do in public: dance or sing. So we're good to go on either one.
boy, this is like a challenge.
Wow. Who did you
There,
promise? Yeah, I'm like,
there,
we might have to remedy
And
that.
why?
dancing might happen, but there's going to have to be some adult beverages consumed before that happens, and that doesn't seem to fit with the podcast vibe. So I'm just saying,
I don't know. You might be able to work it in.
TQ,
All
I
right.
think you're up. We're off to a
Yes.
great start today.
Ridiculous things that I've done because others were, I don't know if they talked me into it, but this is probably more of a peer pressure thing, or not even peer pressure. They were just doing it and I kind of wanted to be involved. And so I ended up, this is elementary school. And I went to work. My dad was working at a rental car place, and they had these staplers. And for some reason, there were a few people in elementary school the week before got their fingers stapled. And I'm like, I don't know why they'd want to do that, but now I'm curious. And so I sat there messing with it. And my dad is talking with a client right there. I'm behind the counter and he's talking with the client. The client's facing us. And I staple my finger. Of course, it hurt. Duh. And next thing you know, I threw the stapler, barely missed the client, get up and run to the restroom and go take care of my hand. So you asked for completely ridiculous. That was completely ridiculous. And I just wanted to see why everybody else was doing it. I still don't know why they were doing it, but I did not do it again. I learned my lesson. I have no piercings either, by the way, in case you're wondering. It did me
Maybe
in.
because of that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yep, no thank you.
Wow.
I feel like that's like the start of a reel or an episode. We could talk about the things that we used to do because we didn't have phones and we had to be creative that weren't smart ideas.
That'll be the episode we record for our older audience, and all the Gen Zs never listen to us again. But thank you for wonderful ideas. Oh my gosh.
All right,
Some
Jason,
people-
you're up, Bo.
Wait,
I mean, I don't really know. No, there you cause TQ trauma.
Yes.
Knock it off.
I'm over it. I've had counseling. I'm good.
I,
For those who are listening and not watching, Erica held up a stapler. So there you go.
yeah, there you go. So I don't really know what to do at this point. So Erica has danced, knowing it would be painful, intentionally stapled his finger just so he could see what it felt like. So
Everybody was doing it.
everybody was doing it. All right. So I used to be a youth pastor, and I feel like youth pastors talk about peer pressure all the time, but they are the most susceptible to peer pressure of anybody I've ever met. Like, you get a bunch of kids are like, I bet you won't do it. Bet you won't do it. Youth pastors will do it. Or if another group of youth pastors get together, you want to see the dumbest stuff ever? Go to a youth pastor conference. Those guys just sign up to do dumb things because somebody said, bet you won't, right? Like, I'm sorry if there are youth pastors listening. I am so thankful you're here, and we'll
Jason
be here to help
speaking the
coach you.
truth.
So it's VBS season, right? And my children's ministry director is like, we need to create a skit, but kids will only think it's funny if it has bodily humor in it, right? Like, we've got to like fall down or fall over or something. I'm like, okay, great. So we're supposed to be these river rafting guides. So we have this inflatable like raft, like you could go down a river in. So we're sitting in it and we have our fake oar. And I forget what happened, but we're supposed to rock the boat just a little bit and then like fake fall over and roll out of the boat. Well, she and I had never practiced the rocking the boat thing. And so I rock the boat and I rock it back. And I think her weight shifted and my weight shifted in the same direction. And we both went, the boat literally flipped. And I am going head first down brick stairs. And
My.
all I can think in this worship center, and all I can think is, I'm really glad she said we should put helmets on before we did this, just as her butt hits my face and drives my head into the step. The kids are laughing. Everybody's having a great time. I'm literally taking 3 seconds at the bottom of these steps to be like, did I break anything? Do I have a concussion? Where am I? And then I'm like, wait, where's our middle school ministry director? Is she okay? Like, what did she hit on the way down the steps? And so we laughed about that for quite a while as our and I'm like, never again am I doing skits with you. Never, ever, ever again.
That's great.
Especially outside.
Yeah. No, this was inside.
No, this is inside.
We were inside the sanctuary worship center area. We
on
had this
bricks?
It was like a tile brick step thing.
With the steps. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it.
still like the stage. We were on the stage, flipped the thing. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It's on video somewhere. I hope nobody
We
ever
gotta
sees
get
it.
that.
Yeah, no, it
Please
needs to.
uncover
Please,
that.
TQ. He is skilled. He will put it on here. Please, we gotta get it.
I don't know if I have it, but I'm sure somebody has pictures of it. So anyway, but yeah, so today I asked that goofy question to ask this question. Where does transformation happen? When you think about change, you think about moving from point A to point B and not just going right back to point A. What is it that enables that to actually stick? So maybe my question for you guys is, think about a time when you tried to change something through willpower alone, and what happened?
I can go if you want, unless
You
you
go.
got it.
Somebody should go. Dead air is not good on a podcast.
So, in theme of what I help with women do right now and reality of what I went through, I really tried to change my anger alone. I thought I could, work it out as far as like working out. I'm not saying it's not a good release. That is a good release. It didn't help. I'd work out until I fell on the ground and get back up and still be angry. I couldn't get rid of it. It took a really, really long time to realize I needed to let a healthy individual in with that anger, which for me actually started with my coach. And she was there to see me and validate that anger. Like she knew where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel alone in it. And I was alone in it for a long, long time. I need to take a drink.
Yeah. We got
Take a
you,
minute, Erica. Thank
We
you.
hear you.
Thanks for sharing. We went from really funny to really serious all of a sudden very fast.
We did. That's okay.
Yeah. And it means a lot when we can realize in the midst of the really scary stuff that we're not okay. I think there's parts of life that maybe we don't really like to talk about, right? Or we don't want to be honest about. But it gets scary there. It gets really scary. So thank you. Thanks for
Yep,
sharing.
absolutely,
We'll let you off the
Erica.
hot seat for a minute, let you catch your breath.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
TQ, that's going to be a hard one to follow, but any
Yeah.
places where you tried to change something through willpower alone?
Sure. Kind of lighthearted, though. Again, when I was younger, just had a scenario where my language kind of got a little out of hand. So, and I remember my mom catching me while playing Pac-Man at the arcade. That's way back, y'all.
See, things we did to
Anyhow.
entertain ourselves before cell phones.
Yes. Anyhow, wanted to try to get that done on my own, and I had a relative with me and one of my cousins, and so I said, "Hey, man," because he had the issue too. We need to stop doing this. So why don't we do a pact? If I say something, you hit me. If you say something, I will hit you. Right. And so I was wise enough to let him go first and say the thing, and then hit him really hard. Didn't knock him out. This is not like hurt him, but enough for him to feel it and enough to know that if I do it again, if I do it and he's around, then he's going to hit me because he wants to do that back. And so, and that has helped. I have not sworn in a while, but yes, just having that other person in it with me. We were young, guys do things like that, but that was helpful, when I had started to use language a lot because, it started to become the cool thing, become the thing that everybody was doing. So stapled my finger, was cursing, all because everybody was doing the same thing. So you can see where my life was going. Back when
Our next episode will be on how to handle peer pressure. That's what our next episode will be on.
So there you go. But yeah, it wasn't really easy. I wasn't doing well by myself. And pretty quickly decided I need to bring somebody in with me. And at that age, that was the only way I knew how to do it. So
Erica, are you okay if I come back and push on you a little bit?
Absolutely.
I want to push yours because TQ told us what happened and then he quickly found somebody else and he smacked him in the face and it all went great. So, but you sat in this aloneness for a while. And I'm guessing there are probably some listeners who are sitting in that place trying with willpower, because they've been told that, right? We've been told, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and just keep moving on, right? So what did you tell yourself would happen if you just kept trying harder?
I remember telling myself it would just go away on runs, working out. And there's a part of that too that sometimes when expressing that, I was a little bit with, not a little bit, I was with the wrong person. And so then that part wasn't helpful either. So then I tried to do it alone.
So you mean wrong with the wrong person? You were telling the wrong person
Hmm.
or inviting the wrong person into space? Yeah.
Correct. And I really thought that by praying hard enough, by working out hard enough, releasing it like, okay, workouts are good. You got to release this bad energy. It's just going to go away eventually. That did not work.
Yeah, for me, I have my mom in my ear. I love my mom. Mom, if you ever listen to my podcast, I love you. But she used to tell me all the time in my 20s, Jason, you're getting really big. You should do something. I was like, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Stop nagging me. My wife loves me. Leave me alone. And then there's a picture. I went to my mom's house. We went somewhere and she took a picture and got him. This will date me when we still got photos developed. And the photo came back and I was like, who's that? My mom goes, that's you. I was like, that is not me. My wife's like, no, that's you. That's 245 pounds, 42-inch waist. And I saw it for the first time. And I was like, this is going to take some work. And I'm going to have to give up pizza. And more importantly, I'm going to have to give up buffalo wings and blue cheese dressing. And I don't know how I feel about that. And there's no way I'm doing it on my own. So I went and joined all of the ladies at Weight Watchers. And I can tell you, they hated me. I loved them. They hated me. So especially the week I walked in and dropped 13 pounds in a week, they really hated me. But it was that constant, like, I'm going to get on a scale. I'm going to go to a class. I'm going to hear other people talk about their journey in the process that really began to shift things. And it sounds like for both of you too, there was someone else who came in, had a perspective that was able to help you see or correct behavior, maybe in healthy ways like coaching or unhealthy ways like I'll punch you in the face. That changed our behaviors. But we believe and we grow up in this culture that says it's just a hero's journey. You're just on it your own. You're all by yourself. Go fight through it. Get through it. It's just you and your issue. And yet we say that. And yet when you look around us, there's all of these examples where people admit they can't do it on their own, right? Like AA works because it's a recovery program. There's all kinds of sports that are group sports because people won't exercise by themselves. CrossFit, that phenomenon that's come out of nowhere. Weight Watchers been forever. There's financial accountability. There's workplaces. Maybe it's a little tense to say, but sometimes the church fills that place. Now, I know that's a can of worms. Maybe we don't want to totally open. But what crosses in our mind when we look at all of these programs that exist to help us, and then we still tell ourselves, I'm going to do it on my own? Where do you think that disconnect is?
What if it's a learned behavior and like you've practiced it over and over and maybe nobody has come and you've tried to figure it out yourself?
Definitely be that. I think sometimes it's responsibility. I got myself in it. I need to get myself out, whatever the thing is. Sometimes it's depending on what you're dealing with. I don't want to bring anybody else in there to see this, to see me struggle through this, and maybe even the fear of what if I bring them in and I still don't make it, then what? Now just, I would just look like an idiot or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So there's some vulnerability in there that you've got to be willing to dive into, or like Erica said, you bring the wrong person in and that doesn't help, and whatever other emotions get piled up on top of that, So I think there's a lot of things keeping us from necessarily bringing someone in because it may feel safer to try to make it on our own. But, especially depending on how deep-seated the thing is that we're dealing with, that can be a long road of grinding and getting nowhere, or grinding ourselves down to a nub.
So TQ, in your story with your potty mouth, it just makes me think of the Avengers scene when he's like, language, right? Your mom caught you and then you got in trouble. And so you're like, well, I don't want to keep getting in trouble. Erica, what? For me, it was the picture. But Erica, for you and the anger, that's something that only you saw, other people probably saw you get angry. But right. But what was the breaking point for you when you're like, I'm going to talk to somebody else about that?
I don't recall a specific breaking point, but yet, and you got to hear me in this, in that specific injury, there's going to be anger that has to be worked through. Yet it just didn't feel like me. And I could see this like person that was me. It's like almost drowning, yet like running and scraping for anything by herself. And she's like, that's not working.
Yeah. And to validate that first response, like as somebody who works in emotions a lot as a coach and emotional intelligence and that kind of stuff, emotions are not bad. Emotions tell us something
Yes.
and they give us a place to direct. And so, yes, absolutely. Going through betrayal, I don't have a cousin who's going to smack me. You should be pissed off, right? You should be angry when you go through that, right? That's honest, real emotion. And to deny that is to deny the reality of what's happening around us, right? I mean, that's what all of us have to own those things.
Yes.
But when those emotions begin to control, that's where. So I just want to say for those who are listening who may have thought that question was directed at like, you shouldn't have been angry. No, you should have been clearly pissed off.
Yeah.
And, there's lots of things like that. So we think about this question of where transformation happens. I think it's clear that at least there's fertile ground for transformation to happen when we find community or we feel like we're not alone. But we've all found community that doesn't feel real either, or doesn't provide what we need, or feels fake. So what's the difference between community that actually leads to change and community that's just a bunch of people sitting in
I don't think I'm going to give a complete answer to this, but when I think of the word community, it breaks down into two words: common unity. Like there's this common thing that the people are about. And so when I find myself with a common goal, whether it's self-betterment, whether it's, trying to make sure my potty mouth is not as potty mouth anymore or something along those lines, when we have this common unity, there's this group move towards this thing. There's generally encouragement with each other towards that thing. There's understanding because you're all kind of going through it or have been through it at different stages, et cetera. And so when there's this point that's out there that we see that we're going towards, we're all kind of going, yeah, let's do this together. And it builds kind of this momentum, builds this unity because, man, we're locking arms and doing this together. You're helping me, I'm helping you. And by all means, we're gonna get to that point and, celebrate when we get there.
For that question, Jason, I can think of sitting in a room where nobody's talking, nobody's connecting. It's just a silent room, and that feels very empty. So if you go into the same room and people are conversing, they're genuinely wanting to get to know each other or maybe help each other, just being present in conversation, there's a whole different feel in that room.
Yeah, I think that's a clear picture, right? Like you want to walk into a room where everybody's staring at the wall and there's shoestrings, or you want to walk in a room where everybody's already talking and you can walk in and find a warm conversation. No, I'm a little strange. I like the challenge. I'm going to go in the quiet room and get them all talking, but that's just my own unique behaviors. I think it's interesting. Both of you went to a larger group, right? Like some kind of, when I think about common goal or common unity, I think about people, a larger group coming together. I think for me, part of it is it doesn't necessarily matter size, but it matters if I walk in the room and I feel like I'm valued. If I feel like I'm seen, whether that's with one person, and you can walk into a room with one person and not feel seen, right? Like I don't want to put words in your mouth, Erica, but I think about your bad first person you shared with who was not the right person, right? That it's not there. But I wonder what it feels like then to realize that each and every one of us need that space and have the opportunity to create that space. We have an opportunity, every person we meet, to create a space that feels like something could happen here. Somebody saw me here. Somebody cared about me here. Somebody invested in me here. Versus like, what can I get from you?
Well, if I can speak on that just for a moment, Jason, it's interesting.
No, you're not allowed. TQ, up to you. Sorry, it was getting too serious. Had to break it up.
Yes, don't get me started laughing again. We won't get anywhere. But I was actually having a similar conversation this morning with a friend about how I like to, like, even if I'm just, when I go out into the world, right? Grocery store, I don't know, wherever I'm going, just compliment people. And it's not like if I see a woman and her hair is beautiful, I'll just like, your hair is so beautiful. And that's it. Just give that compliment and walk on. It feels good to give a compliment, and it also feels great to receive a compliment. And in that, even if it's like 12 seconds of a conversation, we both feel that genuineness of a person, of giving and receiving.
What do you think about my hair? I'm just curious.
I love how shiny it is.
It's always shiny. That's a true fact.
Mhm.
No, I love it and it's such a small practical thing, right? Like we all go out, we all can even just say hi to somebody. You don't have to get, if compliment feels like too much, 12 seconds. Some people are like, you talk to strangers for 12 seconds. They're freaking out right now, right? Like you don't have to do it that long, but like, what's it look like to just smile and say hi? I mean, so often our conversations look like this, right? As we
Yeah.
are walking
Nose in
through
the
the
phone.
store, staring at our phone. Any thoughts to add to that, TQ?
I'm trying to get back. The question was,
Yeah, that's great. I didn't have it written down.
no, that's okay.
This is when we go off
But
cuff.
that's all right. That's so good. That's so good. You were talking about sometimes it's a smaller group of people.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
had kind of gone to a larger group of people. I absolutely believe that it doesn't matter the size. You know, I have a list of a couple of friends who are my go-to folks. Like when I have really needed someone to walk with me, I'm thinking of a buddy in Florida. I went to college with him. I don't think he would mind me saying his name, but I haven't asked him, so I'm not going to throw it out there. But, you know, in college, we would be up late pondering the world's ideas and trying to figure it all out. And we left college and got married. And we spent years regularly connecting so that we could work through the things that we're trying to overcome, you know, our hangups, our addictions, the things that really were going, if I don't break free of this, my life is just crashing and burning. And I truly believe that those conversations, that time together, um, has saved my life on occasion. Where everything would have imploded if I didn't have someone to really talk to really say, to really know that I was seen by them, to really help me get going when I was stuck in maybe some self-pity or not moving, and also there to really help me see progress when I couldn't. I mean, there's just so many things. And probably one of the biggest things for me was someone who still accepted me, though he knows all my junk, every last bit of it, right? And with that, that allows me to have those failures and those successes and still know that I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Still have somebody going, that's all right, man. We're still going to do this. There's still the goal. There's still the thing. You know, I believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. And so let's go. And I've got maybe 3 friends that I would say that have been that way for me. And I think I'm a very rich man to say I've had 3, you know? I know a few who would go, I don't know that I have anybody like that.
Well, that's the perfect transition. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We sit here and talk about community, and we can share stories about a coach or a friend or a cousin or a place where we felt like we connected. I want to be honest that there's probably some of you listening who are thinking, yeah, that's great for you guys. I've tried to join a group, or I was in a community, and man, I'll just put it in your comments or your show notes about the pain that community caused me. I'll do it on my own.
Yeah.
And so I wonder what would you say to someone who feels like either I've been hurt by or rejected by community? And if that's where transformation happens, I'd rather just live where I am.
Man, I would say first, I see you and I understand. There have been some significant hurts from communities that I've been in as well, especially church communities. Those have been some of the hardest for me. But I would also say that just because I experienced a community that was terrible here doesn't mean that there's one that's terrible there. I've experienced things from people of different races that have been jarring, right? But not everyone of that race has been jarring. Some of them have actually helped carry me when I've been jarred by others. And so one, I would say not everybody is what you experience. The other thing I would say is I get that you want to be cautious about how you approach the next community. So take what you would want to find in that community, take that with you and test the waters. Oftentimes I find if I'm here's an easy example. I like to watch Star Wars. And if I wanted to talk about Star Wars, I could. So I start talking about Star Wars. Some people are going to be very repelled by that. They're like, yep, absolutely not. Crazy dude. Some are going to be very drawn in, right? And they're going to have experience. They're going to start to understand, and we're going to connect. And so I would say take what you're looking for in that community and start putting it out there and see who's drawn and who repels. Sometimes when we just dive into a community and are hoping that they're the ones, we may find that we're in a community that just doesn't get us and we don't get them. And that may not even be a bad thing. It just may be a disconnect thing. But there may be another community where you start putting that stuff out there and you're going, these are my people. They understand me. I understand them. And then you can journey together, And so last piece I would say is communities are made up of people, and not that a community should just beat you down all the time, but because we're made up of people, sometimes the community is going to be a little awkward or hard. Some of that needs to get worked through, and that's okay. You may find yourself coming out stronger on the other side. So that's what I would say to that individual. That was a whole lot. I hope they were still listening by the time I was done.
I thought it was a great answer.
It really was. And Erica, I'm going to throw a different one to you, and I'll just let you be the solo voice on this one, and we'll let TQ sit as the community hurt guru. So what would you say to somebody who wants this but doesn't know how to find it?
I would ask them what their interests are, what they like to do, their hobbies. Jason, I'd say you really like to river raft and you're very good at it. So go try that.
I actually do, and I've never fallen out of a raft in a real river. But that's a side note.
I could go join a dance community. It's not like you have to start in this big space. It could be a small space. Think about what you like to do, even if it's just walking your dog. Instead of walking your dog alone, go to the dog park. It might be scary. Maybe you're going to sit back on the fence the first time, and that's okay. But then, swallow your breath and say hi to somebody.
I want to thank each of you, both of you, for diving in on this topic today. Transformation's a big thing. When we think about wanting to get from point A to point B, it's not an easy journey. I don't care what point A is or what point B is. If it's weight loss or fitness or financial debt or anger or potty mouth, whatever it is, getting from point A to point B, I don't really think it happens alone. And so I want to leave our audience with this question unanswered today, just to think about, just to maybe noodle on and maybe find a friend to talk to about it. Where have you already experienced community helping you change or transform in life? And where might you need to let somebody in that you've been keeping out so you can experience the growth you've been desiring? So we'll let it set a little unfinished today, a little out there for you just to think about. You can find our bios in the show description, and we want to thank each of you for tuning in. And if you found something useful in today's episode, we just ask, please share that. Share it out. Send us a comment. We'd love to know, is anybody listening?
Absolutely.
And if you are and it's helping, tell a friend about it. Follow us. Become one of our audience. We're thankful for each and every one of you. So for Beyond the Questions, thanks so much for being here. Have a great day.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beyond the Questions. Be sure to subscribe so that you can stay up to date concerning future episodes. And if you would like to connect with any of the hosts on Beyond the Questions, their contact info is linked in the description below. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next episode of Beyond the Questions.